Welcome to today's debate on a highly controversial topic. Should parents have the right to genetically modify their children? Genetic modification in humans is now technically possible thanks to advances in gene editing technologies like CRISPR, but the question of whether it should be allowed remains complex and hotly debated. Let's hear to different perspectives.
Thank you. I believe parents should have the right to genetically modify their children, especially for medical reasons. Gene editing technology like CRISPR allows us to correct genetic defects that cause diseases like cystic fibrosis, Huntington's disease, and certain types of cancer. Scientific studies show that CRISPR can accurately target and alter specific genes, potentially eliminating these diseases before birth. Take sickle cell anemia, for example, which affects millions worldwide. Scientists have already successfully used gene editing to remove the mutation that causes it, and the results are promising. Imagine a future where no child has to suffer from genetic diseases. Moreover, gene editing can improve the quality of life for future generations by increasing resistance to diseases. If we can enhance immunity against illnesses, why wouldn't we do it? It's a matter of giving children the best possible start in life.
Sarah presents a compelling argument about the medical benefits of genetic modification, but let's hear Mark's perspective.
Thank you. While the potential to eliminate diseases is exciting, I believe genetic modification opens a Pandora's box of ethical issues and risks that outweigh the benefits. First, let's talk about safety. Studies have shown that gene editing can lead to unintended consequences, known as off-target effects, where edits affect other parts of the genome unintentionally. Even the smallest mistake in gene editing could lead to unforeseen health issues for the child, possibly even creating new diseases. Additionally, allowing parents to make genetic modifications based on what they think is best for their children raises moral questions. Today, it might be about eliminating disease, but what's to stop society from moving toward designer babies, where traits like intelligence, height, or eye color are selected based on preferences? This could lead to social inequality and discrimination, as only wealthy families could afford these enhancements, widening the gap between different socioeconomic groups.
I see your point, Mark, but scientific advancements are addressing the safety concerns you raised. Researchers are developing methods to minimize off-target effects. The technology is still evolving, and regulations can ensure it's only used for preventing life-threatening conditions, not cosmetic purposes. In terms of ethics, I agree that the risks should be carefully regulated. But isn't it more unethical to deny children the chance to live without preventable diseases? Many scientists, like Dr. George Church at Harvard, argue that with strict guidelines, we can avoid the slippery slope of designer babies. We could set legal limits on which genes can be edited, allowing only life-saving interventions.
Sarah argues that gene editing technologies can be refined and regulated. Mark, how do you respond?
I understand your point, Sarah, but regulations are often difficult to enforce, especially when technology advances so rapidly. History has shown that regulations can't always keep up with technological progress, and black markets might emerge for unapproved gene modifications. Furthermore, as society normalizes gene editing, we risk shifting our values toward viewing humans as products to be enhanced. Bioethicists warn that genetic modification could lead to genetic determinism, where people are judged based on their genetic makeup, possibly even stigmatized if they don't meet societal standards. This could lead to new forms of discrimination, similar to what we saw in the eugenics movements of the past. If we truly want a society built on equality and inclusion, we should avoid technologies that might lead us back down that path.
Those are valid concerns, Mark, but I believe parental rights and individual choice are fundamental here. Parents already make countless choices that impact their children's lives, like deciding where to live, what school to send them to, and which values to instill. Isn't it fair to give them the option to prevent serious medical issues in their children if they have the means to do so? With careful regulation and education, society can responsibly manage gene editing. Parents should have the right to give their children the healthiest possible future, free from debilitating genetic conditions. I believe it's about empowering families, not about creating inequality.
I understand the desire for healthier futures, but once we start down the path of genetic modification, we can't go back. Today, we may limit modifications to medical purposes, but tomorrow, we might be altering characteristics and personalities. The risks are too great, both for individuals and for society at large. We need to exercise caution and prioritize natural diversity. There are already ways to manage many genetic diseases without altering the human genome permanently. Instead of genetic modification, let's focus on treatments and preventative medicine, respecting the complexity and unpredictability of natural human life.
Both Sarah and Mark have raised excellent points in this debate. Genetic modification offers immense possibilities, but also presents ethical and social challenges that cannot be ignored. Where do you stand? Should parents have the right to genetically modify their children, or should we leave nature untouched? Who is right? Let us know in the comments.